Hello and welcome, BitMonger family. Monger with you here today. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic, and I'm having a fantastic day myself. I am up a lot of money. I mean, it's over $1,000 day for me. So it's been good this morning, and I'm going to talk about some of the trades that I make, and I'm also going to take up a Bitcoin and what I'm seeing currently. It's gone down, guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into Bitcoin. And I'm also going to talk about a little bit about some trading strategies that I use, and a good coin that you might want to put on your radar. Even though I like the coin long term, I think it's opportune for a good short. And I'm currently in a trade. I've already scalped it a couple times, and yeah, I'll give some thoughts on some trading strategies that you guys might want to consider if you're doing what I'm doing and, shorting, longing, using leverage. All right, so first let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. We can see it's currently trading at 67,226, and it is coming down and touching this line, guys. This zone here that I had pointed out. And if we go back and we look at this, we can see that it is touching this lower zone right here at this line, this yellow line. I got it at 66.8. I had talked about this one before, guys. But we can see it's coming down and wicking below it, coming down, wicking below it, touching it, wicks below it, then it pops back up. So this is a strong line right here, 66.8. And the more it touches it, the higher probability it is that it's going to break through it, guys. That's just the way things work. So right now we can see on the upside it's only touched it twice. One nearly here, 1, 2, almost there, 3. It wicked above it. So we'll call it 4 times. Whereas down here, just range bound on it. You can see it was just tapped it numerous times here, numerous times. So the probability of this breaking down lower and going down to 65.8 is more probable, guys, unfortunately. Currently I don't have a short on Bitcoin, but if I was betting on it, I would bet that this is looking weak. We can also see here, let's take a look at this. We can see the volume is also coming down, guys. That's not a good sign. We want to see, volume picking up. We want to see some green bars down here. We got a small green one right here. Maybe it will bounce. If you guys want to, if you're looking to long it, you could put your order down here, like around 66.8, 66.75, something like that, 66.78. Look to long it. Have your invalidation point be under this wick right here on the 15-minute chart. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin, guys. The stock market did continue to rally. Bitcoin's looking fickle. It's not getting much love, that's for sure. But long-term wise, if you're a believer in Bitcoin, this is an opportunity. Good to be nibbling at these prices. Anything when it's below the previous all-time high is generally a good time to be nibbling. Now, do I think it could go lower? I certainly do. And I got, dry powder on hand to buy the dip. And as I mentioned yesterday, 58K is an interesting level. Another interesting level is 55K, 52K, 49K, right below 50K is, these psychological round numbers are important. And 42K, I think it was between 38 and 42 is another really sweet spot if we get some serious havoc and craziness in the market. For that to happen, I would suspect that the stock market would need to dump for Bitcoin to get down to those prices. But those prices are a probability, and based on historic downturns, they're very real. So I would keep dry powder on hand. Look for strength in the market for it to be going up before you start getting really bullish. As I mentioned before, I would like to see it get above, this previous top where it topped out here, 71, call it 72,000. and preferably to get back above the liberation day dump low, which is at 74. I believe there's a short a CME gap like around 83, 84K. So if it breaks above this and starts trending, then I would, I would start to think that, okay, we can start getting bullish again. But till then, you have to look at the trend, and it is clearly going down, guys. And even though the other markets are doing well, this isn't. So I'm big on shorting. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these trades that I've done. So first one here, we got Orca, and that was a scalp. This one recently ran up. Right now we're getting a bunch of Solana ecosystem coins have been popping off a little bit. So this one ran up, I shorted it, I took profit, and then I did it again, made nearly 13%. I currently have an open trade. And just so you guys know, the way I'm scalping this, oftentimes this is a tip that you might want to do. And that is, as soon as you're in profit and you made a good entry and it goes and you're running into profit, I like to put another order back in at where I entered the trade if it looks like a good entry. Now, sometimes you might want to do some analysis, like you'll make an entry, maybe it will go slightly negative for a bit, which is fine. That's just part of the game. You're not going to pick it perfectly. But when it goes red, you look for where it topped out, and you might want to stagger an order in where you initially entered based on your thesis and your plan, where you initially entered, maybe have a smaller bid there, depending on how deep it went into the red. You might, and then put another order in at the near top of that wick that wicked out while you were negative, and put an order in there. And that's one way that you can do it. Always have a stop loss. Look at where the other wicks are to determine what your risk is. Remember, using risk is number one. Managing the risk is number one. It's so crucial in trading. So if you make sure that you have a stop loss in place, or some sort of well thought out plan that you are going to execute based on your analysis. Very, very important. I do sometimes I will have, if I have high conviction and I have belief that this thing is clearly overbought, I will stagger orders in. And I would not consider this good financial advice by any means, because it's risky as fuck. But when I know something's clearly overbought, and I will put a buy order or a sell order, I'll short it. And if it continues to go up, I will continue to add to my position. I'll add to my margin. I'll put it at some place where it is very unlikely to get, liquidated. Now, you need to be careful with some of these. Some of these coins, they can absolutely rip. So you have to be willing to accept a loss if it were to happen. Now, luckily, it hasn't happened to me where I've been liquidated. I've been liquidated once before on a fairly solid bet, but the winners have far outdone all my losers on this kind of strategy that I've played when I've done that. But it's something that you guys might want to consider. So that's how I've scalped this a few times, and I'm in an open trade. Is that I took profit, and then I put an order in, and it went back. It kicked it off again, and then it went back down, kicked it off again. And sometimes you can do that multiple times before before it really starts going nice. Put a trailing stop loss in, maybe put it on 3% or something like that. So if it does, if you're up, like I said, if you can pull 15%, that's great. That's, if you got $1,000 bet, you just made $150, and $150 goes a long way in Thailand, guys. That buys me a shit ton of noodles. So it's something to think about. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one too. Helium, I got a short and I closed that one out. And this one too, again, I've re-entered this trade. It's currently open. And I think that this one is overdone as well. I think that this one is going to go back down. Something that you might want to consider, I would be looking at taking profits like at about 120 and maybe in the lower, tell me what you guys think. Actually, I would like to hear your guys' feedback. Give me your analysis. What do you think is a good take profit point, and put it in your comments, and I will give you my take profit points. One of them I already mentioned, but on the lower end, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about it. And let's look at another one here. This one's closed. I made almost 23% on VVV. This one is a classic example of, where you put an order in and it went back up there. I made a really good money off this one earlier, and I just scored again on this one, guys. I had put that order in. I didn't think it was going to go back up there, but it hit it. And when I woke up, it was massively in profit. I took the money off the table. And really nice. And here's another one I'm currently in, Pippin. Pippin ain't easy, guys. I am making fucking some serious bank on this one. I went in heavy on this one, and I had scalped it earlier, and then it had an absolute runner. I mean, a really sick runner. And you guys, this is one coin that you got to be very careful of, because these little unicorn meme coins can absolutely wreck you if you are not careful. And I'll tell you why. You need to do the research. Look at who's holding the coins. I mean, we got about, I think 80% of this is held within a couple wallets, massive whales, and they are absolutely manipulating this price. So this is an example of one of those coins where if you're going to play it, and you don't use a tight stop loss, well, then you need to have a really deep, you need to put a lot on the line in margin in order to not get wicked out, because they can manipulate it. It had previously gone up to like 74 cents on a massive wick. That's actually one where I did get liquidated on, but I was really lucky on this one. This was a couple months ago, I think, where it wicked up to that point, and I was there. I immediately entered back into the trade, and I got my money out of it. Luckily, I made a little bit of profit, but I learned from that lesson, and I'm currently in this one, and I got a trailing stop loss on this one, large bet, multiple thousands. So I am making some serious money on this one, guys. It's a good day. Anyways, so those are some tips, guys, that you might want to be considering when you are shorting these shit coins. And, I have a pretty simple thesis about this, and I'm surprised not more people are talking about this. But the fact of the matter is that you look at all the millions of shit coins, you look at all these crypto coins now, guys, and we all know, you don't have to be a fucking genius to know that most of these coins are shit coins, and they're going to end up trending down to zero. It probably won't go to zero. There'll still be some dust, but they're fucking going down now. So for me, just being very rational about it and knowing that's a fact, it makes a lot more sense to be betting that these fuckers are going to go down rather than they're going to go up. I am just shocked that more people don't, pay attention and look at this. There's so many people out there that are just one-way minded, oh, it's got to go. I'm betting that it's going to go up, but they don't bet that it's going to go down. It just blows my mind. But anyways, it's good for me. It's good for you if if you do the same as well. We are making money, guys, and awesome. Hope you guys are all doing well, and monger on.